ang mga tao ay mas may mas malamang or may kakayahan sila na kumilos ng maayos kapag alam nilang may mga tao na susubaybay sa kanilang pag-uugali at pagbibigay ng parusa kapag nagpakita sila ng masamang pag-uugali. In institutional social control, institutions such as schools and churches cannot work effectively in a climate of alienation and mistrust. Unsupervised peer groups and gangs, which flourish in disorganized areas, disrupt the influence of those neighborhood control agents that do exist. Children who reside in these neighborhoods find that involvement with conventional social institutions such as schools and afternoon programs is blocked. They are instead at risk for recruitment into gangs and law-violating groups. Crimes flourishes, neighborhood fear increases, which in turn decreases a community's cohesion and worth the ability of its institutions to exert social control over its residents. So ito ay nagsasabi o naglalarawan ng isang nakababahalang sitwasyon kung saan ang mga institusyong panlipunan tulad ng mga paaralan at simbahan ay hindi epektibong gumagana sa mga lugar na may mataas na antas ng pagkakahiwalay at kawalan ng tiwala. Ang kawalan ng kontrol sa mga pangkat ng mga kabataan na nagresulta sa paglitaw ng mga gang ay nagpapahina sa impluwensya ng mga institusyong ito. The last one is the public social control. Stable neighborhoods are also able to arrange for external sources of social also if they can draw on outside help and secure extreme resources, a process referred to as public social. They are better able to reduce the effects of disorganization and maintain lower levels of crime victimization. The level of policing, one of the primary sources of public social control, may vary by neighborhoods. The police presence is typically greatest when community organizations and local leaders have sufficient political clout to get funding for additional law enforcement personnel. The presence of police sends a message that the area will not or deviant behavior because they can respond vigorously to crime. Police prevent criminal groups from gaining a hold in the neighborhood. Criminals and drug dealers avoid such areas and relocate to earlier and more appealing targets. So sa public social control, ito ay mahalaga sa pagpapanatili ng kaayusan at seguridad ng isang community. Ang public social control ay tumutukoy sa paggamit ng mga authority tulad ng pulisya upang kontrolin ang mga krimen at mapanatili ang kaayusan. The effects of collective efficacy. The effects of collective efficacy are critical. In areas where collective efficacy is sufficient, children are less likely to become involved with deviant peers and engage in problem behaviors. In interpersonal relationships remain superficial. Organized areas, however, the population is transient to interpersonal relationships maintain superficial. So sa mga lugar na may mataas na rate ng collective efficacy, ang mga bata ay mas malamang na maiwasan ng mga negatibong impluwensya at mas malamang na makisali sa mga problemang pag-uugali. Ito ay dahil sa malakas na pakiramdam ng pagkakaisa at pagtitiwala sa komunidad na nagbibigay ng suporta at gabay sa mga bata. When social control is weak, there may be an over-reliance on formal punishment such as arrest and prosecution to control offenders, a situation that helps destabilize neighborhoods by putting many of its residents behind bars. This phenomenon is the subject of the policy and practice in criminology feature titled The Rentry Blues. So now let's talk about social support or altruism. Neighborhoods that can provide strong social supports for their members can help young people cope with life stressors. Sometimes this is organized on the block level where neighbors meet face to face to deal with problems. Crime rates may be lower on blocks where people are committed to preserving their immediate environment by confronting these stab- stabilizing forces such as teen gangs and encouraging others to do so also. By helping neighbors become more resilient and self-confident, adults in this area can provide the external support system that enable youth to desist from crime. So sa social support and altruism, ito ay nagpapaliwanag kung paano ang social support at altruism ay Ang tekstong nagpapaliwanag ay, So sa social support altruism, ang mga komunidad na may malakas na social support ay nagbibigay ng suporta at tulong sa kanilang mga miyembro, lalo na sa mga kabataan upang matulungan silang harapin ang mga hamon sa buhay. Ang altruism ay tumutukoy sa pagiging handang tumulong sa iba nang walang pag-asa ng gantimpala. So wala silang hinihinging kapalit. So in my topic, social disorganization theory, the strength of this topic is provides a framework for understanding crime, emphasizes the role of social factors, and provides practical implications. And also the weaknesses of this topic is difficult to measure, oversimplifies complex issues, and limited in explaining certain types of crime. And also the opportunities focus on community development, promote social capital, address root causes of crime, and the last one is the threats, lack of resources, political opposition, and changing social landscape.
So ito pala yung conclusion ng aking topic, which is the social disorganization theory.
So here's the references na pinagkunan ko ng mga information and some explanation para sa topic na ito, social disorganization theory.